Welcome to another Beacon demonstration video. Today we'll be taking you through setting up the EFTPOS codes in the Beacon system. So if you have an integrated EFTPOS solution with Beacon, that is to do with BP RETS, Ampol Posgate, Shell, Turboplus, or alternatively WEX. So any one of those four EFTPOS solutions connect to our Beacon stock file, and they use a series of EFTPOS codes to verify if the item is eligible to be purchased with a customer's card. Certain customer cards will have restrictions on them. So for example, some cards will say fuel only, or they may allow shop, or a particular kind of fuel. So each of these restrictions are enabled on the card, and from there in your Beacon system, you will need to make sure each of the items are marked appropriately with the correct code so that you can sell them properly at the point of sale. Now, these EFTPOS codes aren't stock codes and they're not barcodes. They're not to be confused with those. They are a separate kind of code to classify the items that you sell. Each of these four EFTPOS integrations we have their own restrictions on their own codes. So I'll be running you through now some examples. Now, our first example is with the Shell Turboplus integration. If you have that for your site, there'll be two fuel grades that will need to be changed very near future. So I'll take you through that in the back office. So if we go to, firstly to stock maintenance change. Now I'll bring up the 95 item as the first example. So this is my 95 item here. Now the EFTPOS codes, they're all located at the very bottom of the screen under the EFTPOS codes button. So I click on it and we have the four different markings there. The first one is RETS, that's for the BP sites if you have BP integration. The second one is Posgate, that's for your Ampol site if you have that integration. The third one is Turboplus for Shell sites. That's the one we'll come to in a moment. But the fourth one, I'll just explain while I'm here, is also for WEX. So if you have the integrated WEX system, that's the code that marks there. Now you can see they're all kind of similar, and you can see there's the one we want to change. It's the third one down, Turboplus. So in this case, we're going to be changing this 95 item. Now number 3 is actually going to be discontinued, and we're instead going to use code number 9. Now you should have a 9 in there. If you select it and then press OK, this prompt will come up and say any changes you make here will not be saved until you hit the final OK button on the other screen. So I'm going to hit OK to this again, and then down the bottom I'm going to hit OK. Now that change will go through to the point of sales in a moment. If you don't have that item in your list, please contact Beacon support, let us know, and we'll be able to add that number 9 in for you, and then you can make that change. Now another example is we have the 98 grade. So the other grade, 98, is also going to be changing very soon. So in the EFTPOS codes, once again, down the bottom here, so once again it's the Turboplus one, which is for our Shell integrations. Now that is going to be changing from 7. So 7 was the old code, that's going to be discontinued, and instead we're now going to use code number 8. Now, even if it doesn't say that, if it says VPower or if it says any other wording there, that's fine. If you don't have that code, let us know again, but otherwise pick the code number 8 is the one you want there. So from there, I'm going to hit OK again, and then I'm just going to hit OK down the bottom here, and that's done. Now, while we're here, I'll take you through some other examples. If you're not a Shell Turboplus site, that's okay. I'll take you through how to change a BP EFTPOS, so BP RET. So the way to do that is the exact same process. I'm just going to bring up a different kind of item. We'll bring up cigarettes. So common item we normally sell, go Winfield 20s blue. Once again, EFTPOS codes down the bottom. So you can see the very top one was the one for any site that uses BP RETS. So that's the one we want to change. So at the moment, it's dedicated to shop. Shop is what you'd find 95% of your items in your store and forecourt tend to be. But for cigarettes, we actually have a specific code for it there. And it's code number 1, cigarettes and tobacco. So I select that and then I hit OK. And then I just hit OK once again to complete that. I'll take you through an example for the Ampol system. So if you have an Ampol code, once again, I'll pick a different cigarette this time around, and EFTPOS codes, and for Ampol, it's the second one down, Posgate. So that one I just need to change. Even if it's wrong, I just need to make sure it's the appropriate one. Now, for this example, you can see there's not as many options there. Cigarettes doesn't have its own one. So in this case, it's going to go under Goods GST Inclusive. So I click on that one. That's usually what you'll find most of your items are under. So I hit OK, then I hit OK. And now our very final example, we'll do a WEX item. So this time we'll pick a confectionery item for WEX. Any item at all, let's say Mars bar, and yeah, once again, EFTPOS codes. So it's the very fourth and final one. Quest code, meaning integrated WEX, that is the transactions go through your EFTPOS to the point of sale. Now you can see in here we've got lots of different categories, but unfortunately we don't seem to have one there specifically for confectionery. So what I'll do, I'll put it under food, but if it was any other category, you can assign it to one of those other relevant categories. So food is what I'll go with. So I'm gonna hit OK and then hit OK. Those changes will go straight through to the point of sale. There's no need to print or delete anything from the label printing queue. If you're at a head office, perform the head office change in stock maintenance. That'll flow through to the back offices and then to the point of sales. But that is as simple as how you change and set up EFTPOS codes in Beacon. Thanks for watching our video on setting up the EFTPOS codes in Beacon. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us at support@beaconsoftware.com.au.